It is TV rights negotiation season, and both AEW and WWE are looking for new homes for some of their specific weekly programming. SmackDown is now home on the USA Network. NXT is now home on the CW Network. Rumors are circulating that Monday Night Raw will soon have a new home that is not the USA Network. And Tony Khan actually turned down the CW Network for Ring of Honor. All that and so much more right here on Off the Script. We will start with Tony Khan. Declined talks with the CW Network about a Ring of Honor TV deal. This is an exclusive from Nick Hausman and House of Wrestling. Now, if you guys have been paying attention this week, NXT on the CW, 5 years, they're getting double, triple almost what they were making with the USA Network, and that is the most that the brand has brought in for TV rights. SmackDown, not on Fox anymore. They are on the USA Network. They got a 30% increase over what they were making on Fox. Monday Night Raw, don't know where they're going to end up, but rumors are circulating today where they may end up in 2024. But this is a big deal. This is a big story that Tony Khan declined the CW Network, according to House of Wrestling, in LA at the LA Forum in June 2022. This is where Tony Khan met with a high-level CW executive about bringing Ring of Honor to the network. Now, House of Wrestling says they are unsure if this was before the talks between CW and the NWA or NXT were underway. From what we understand, they say, Khan did not pursue talks with the CW as he refuses to seriously entertain new deals for Ring of Honor until AEW TV rights are in play, which will be in 2024. Khan feels that by waiting, he will have more options and leverage in the marketplace. It was noted to House of Wrestling that Khan found the CW executive to be very pleasant and someone he enjoyed visiting with, but it was just not the right time to make a deal with the CW. House of Wrestling has heard of at least two other notable pro wrestling promotions that are not the NWA or NXT that the CW was in talks with recently. We are currently working to find out more information on those talks, says House of Wrestling. We have also been told that the CW is open to hosting multiple pro wrestling products on their platform. And wow, Women of Wrestling will likely continue to air on the CW during the same time frame NXT does. I don't know why this is a big story. I know this is going to be picked up by other creators in the community, and I know this is going to be picked up by your Brandon Thurstons and your Dave Meltzers and everybody else that does this. I don't know why this is a big deal. Tony Khan, his priority is AEW. Tony Khan has lumped AEW and Ring of Honor almost in a package deal. We see Ring of Honor content on AEW Dynamite. We see Ring of Honor content on AEW Collision. Ring of Honor's got their own show on their own specific app. Ring of Honor is important to Tony Khan. Tony Khan is a pro wrestling fan. He's a mark in some circles, but he's a fan, and he wants to do right by the brand. And the brand is not going to survive on its own. It's not. I don't give a shit where they put it, CW or whatever network that you can conjure up. Ring of Honor is not going to generate any TV revenue or the amount of revenue that Tony Khan wants it to generate or thinks it should generate on its own. So what Tony Khan is doing is he's bundling Ring of Honor and AEW together. He has something in mind specifically that he is going for, and he's going to get it. Whether he gets what he thinks he deserves financially, that remains to be seen. But Ring of Honor on its own is dead. Ring of Honor will never survive. Ring of Honor will never get what Tony Khan thinks it should get on its own. The only reason that Ring of Honor will survive is because it's tagged onto AEW. That is it. That is the only reason why it's around now. It's worthless. To me, my personal point of view, it's worthless. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it on Dynamite. I don't want to see it on Collision. As far as I'm concerned, close up shop, and you got the TV deal with AEW and Warner to worry about, and do that on your own. That's what I would do. I feel like it's a lose-lose situation. Ring of Honor is never going to measure up to what it used to be. It's always going to be a shell of its former self. Does it have a space, a place in the wrestling realm? Sure. Everybody that's looking for work, everybody that wants to get their feet wet on getting to TV, everybody that is hot on the indies can walk through Ring of Honor. You'll get a spot, see if you can make it, get some TV time, learn the ropes, etc., etc. So it does have its place, even now, but it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be what it used to be. But I don't see why this would be a big story, because Ring of Honor on its own is never going to survive and never going to generate the type of money that the network who's interested in it thinks it's going to generate. And Tony Khan is never going to get back what he thinks Ring of Honor is truly worth with a TV deal with the brand standing on its own 2 feet. He's going to muster everything he can to package them both. And even then, during this 2022 meeting in June at the LA Forum, where I know he threw a big party for Warner Brothers executives. I know it because we talked about it. It felt like yesterday. I remember talking about this. He threw a big party. He was meeting with big executives and whatever. I don't know exactly what was going on there. It might have been an extension of sorts for the network. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he's going to try and get the most money he can for AEW, and he's going to do that and get whatever extra he can squeeze out of the network by packaging Ring of Honor and AEW together. And the thing that he wants is a streaming deal. That's what Tony Khan's resources are going towards, a streaming deal. It's not going to be AEW specifically. The reason why he bought Ring of Honor was because he had this in the back of his mind that he's going to do AEW, Ring of Honor. He wants a centralized hub for all fans of pro wrestling to come and watch. You want to watch AEW and everything else that we've done? There you go. You want to watch everything Ring of Honor? There you go. He wants that to be the one big substantial piece of the pie to sell to the network and say, hey, this is what we're coming with. This is the centralized hub of pro wrestling. This is a pro wrestling fan's fucking wet dream. Here you go. That's what he wants to make his money on. That's where he's going to make his money. Bringing Ring of Honor to the CW network was never going to get anywhere close to what Tony Khan wanted it to be. Just a fact. So I don't know why this is a story. The story reads as if Tony Khan walked away. Hey, we're not good enough to do business with you, man. Or you're not good enough for us to do business with. We're not interested there, man. We'll talk another time. No, Tony Khan has this fucking plan in mind. And he's not going to let go of that plan. He's got one thing in mind and he's going to go towards it. CW, they approached him. And he said no. Monday Night Raw. We got news on Raw apparently going to the FX network. Now, this is coming from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, and Brandon Thurston actually went deep dive into this about Raw moving to the FX network in 2024. Industry insider Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics said he felt it was more of a possibility a few weeks ago, but said last week he wasn't confident either way if Raw was moving away from the USA Network. He says, and I quote, "The talk is FX, which is owned by Disney. They could be a buyer for Raw. It's certainly not going to fit on ESPN, the mothership. I don't think that they want a worked sport on ESPN or ESPN2 either. ESPN Plus is a possibility, especially with the network and what they were able to give Peacock. Maybe something could be built together there with UFC when those rights are up." Now, CW acquiring NXT seems to leave more room for Raw to stay on the USA Network because they don't have to spend as much to keep a WWE program, being that one of those two programs now goes somewhere else. Thurston said Peacock will likely try to bid on the NBA, but said it was very doubtful for USA Network that they would be in the field likely to land the NBA. I know NBC Universal wants the NBA on Peacock, and NBC, you know, the flagship Channel 4 here in New York City, they want the NBA back on NBC. I don't know how likely that is, but I did say, and I have been saying that, I don't think we get to know where Raw is going just yet until the NBA figures out where they want to go first. Because if NBCU is in contention to land the NBA, I think at that point, I don't know how much money they'll have left over to keep WWE Raw, but I think at that point, I think they keep one and let go of the other. They're going after the NBA, and then they're going to let go of Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw is going to have to find a new home somewhere. If they don't get the NBA, then WWE is probably going to stay on the USA Network. That's just the way that I see it. Now, Thurston says another issue with FX acquiring Raw is Disney is trying to sell that network as well, which is also shopping ESPN. The shakeup in media among the major conglomerates and studios has been happening for a while. Thurston mentioned at some point Peacock could purchase, this is a big if, Peacock could purchase Warner Discovery, which has been bought and sold a few times over the last 30 years. That obviously would throw out all sorts of questions as to what happens with WWE and AEW if they are on stations owned by the same company. I don't think we're going to go down that road, but it's definitely a talking point that needs to be brought up. Now, as of September 2018, FX is available in approximately 95 million television households. That's 96.7% of households with cable in the United States. In addition to the flagship U.S. network, the FX name is licensed to a number of related pay television channels in various countries around the world. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. USA Network, I truly believe that the USA Network wants both Raw and SmackDown while also having all of the WWE catalog on Peacock. I don't know why they would want to let that go. After all these years, they went out and got SmackDown. I don't know why they wouldn't want Raw as well. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, I know that the NBA is being courted by several different stations, several different networks. USA Network or NBCU is in that running. Do they get it? I don't know. But again, at the end of the day, I do feel that if the NBA lands on NBCU, I don't know how much resource NBCU will have to then give WWE how much they want, which is obviously going to come at an increase. If SmackDown got 30, I would assume the same for Monday Night Raw. Do they keep both? Do they go after the NBA and let Raw go? I don't know. If they don't get the NBA, do they want Monday Night Raw, being that they let NXT go? Some people are saying that they let NXT go. They didn't offer as much as the CW for NXT, and they may do the same for Monday Night Raw. I mean, it looks like that, looking at it head on. Well, if they didn't want NXT, do they want Raw? I thought there was some sort of package deal. I thought USA Network, NBCU wanted both. I don't know. The other question is, do we keep Monday Night Raw on Monday? I can't see it being on any other night of the week. I know Ari Emanuel said, yeah, sure, we're open to moving Monday Night Raw to a different night of the week. No, they're not. He only said that to basically throw it out there. We'll talk. We want to talk money, but we'll certainly talk about moving the show off Monday night if that's what it needs to be to get the biggest payday here. Sure. Of course he's going to say that. But he's going to say, nah, we're going to stand firm on keeping Monday Night Raw on Monday. And then that may kind of sway people to not want to talk about, bringing them to a specific network. So I don't know what's going to happen. WWE right now is in limbo. We got SmackDown on USA Network. What night of the week is it going to be on? I don't know. Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. We talked about this with Andrew Baydala on TNT. I personally see Raw staying with the USA Network. USA Network, Raw, Monday, SmackDown, Tuesday, FX. I don't know where they fit in. I don't. FX just sounds like a low-budget fucking network to me. I don't know. I just don't see that happening there. You got Raw on USA Monday, SmackDown on USA Tuesday, NXT on the CW. They could do it on Wednesday if they want to be fucking petty about it. They could do Wednesday. They could do Friday. I don't know. We could do Monday, Tuesday, Friday, instead of right now where the current schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Friday, but SmackDown would go to Tuesday and NXT would go to Friday. It's going to be a very interesting winter. It really is going to be a very interesting winter. Nobody really knows what's going on, and I will keep you guys posted on everything right here as it breaks here with Raw, where they're going to land and what's going to happen. Rumor has it that Tony Khan's going to announce a streaming deal, and that's going to happen in 2024. It's going to be a big year for pro wrestling in 2024. It honestly is, and I'll keep you guys posted on everything that comes right here on Off the Script. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. The comment section is yours. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications, and make sure you guys go out and check out all the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it for you guys to get caught up on. And as always, hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes right here on OTS. I will see you guys back tomorrow night, Friday, for Friday Night SmackDown live right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.